Hi viewers, welcome to my channel. In this lecture we'll see what is a object in Scala. Okay, so we can create object using object keyword. Okay, first we need to understand why we need to create object. Okay, we are defining data members, that is variables and methods in a class, right? So in order to store data for those data members of the class, we must create an object. Okay, so in order to store data for the variables and methods of the class. Okay, we will create object to store the data for variables and methods of a class. Okay, so there are many definitions for object. We'll see. First we can define object as instance of a class. Okay, so instance is a mechanism of allocating sufficient amount of memory space for data members of a class. Okay, so object is a instance of class. Okay, what is a instance? Instance is a mechanism of allocating sufficient amount of memory space for data members of a class. Okay, so next one more definition we have is real world entities are called objects. Definition 2, real world entities are also called as objects. Okay, so the important thing we have to remember is, so object exists physically in this world but class doesn't. Okay, so object does not exist without class. Okay, if you create a class, then only for that class to access or to provide memory to store that variables and methods, we have to create a class. Okay, so without a class we cannot create object. So how to create object? So here val syntax is val some object uh, name. Okay, where object name new. Okay, new keyword class name. This is the syntax of the object creation, class name. Okay, okay, we'll see one example. Characteristics of class is, okay, every characteristics of object. Okay, so state, we have three characteristics: state, behavior, identity. So state represent data of a object. Okay, behavior represent behavior of the object. Identity is typically implemented via unique ID. Okay, the value of ID is not visible by the external user, but internally JVM will create the identity for that unique ID. okay, for the particular object. So example of object, if we take car object, will take car object. If you consider car as a object, then it has some color, right? Color, some blue, okay. It's a that is called state, okay. Color is a state, okay. So behavior is driving, right? Color, okay. Behavior is driving, okay. Identity, it will create internally, JVM will create ID. So that these are the this is the example of object, okay. Car, these are the characteristics of a car: state, behavior, identity, okay. We'll create one student, one class, okay. We'll create one employee class, and we'll see how to create object and all. Class object will create some em. So I have created a employee class, employee object, employee class object, okay. I will create class, so emp, okay. In this, what I will do is I will create some variables. Class means it will have some variables and methods, right? So I will create some variable where id int equal to some 1000, where ename string, okay. Some Mahir, okay. Where salary double equal to something, okay. So def, I have created three variables. One method I will create, method one, okay. In this method I will create, just print the id and name, okay. Employee name is, okay, plus ename. Okay, only two things I will print. Okay, then so this is a class. Okay, this is a class which is having three variables and one method. Okay, so to hold this data we need to create object, right, as per the definition of the object. So first we'll create main function in main main method. Okay, here we have to create object for this emp class. So val equal to new emp. Okay, so this is a this is object using class name. Using new keyword we are creating object of the class. So here e dot method 1. Okay, we'll execute and see. Yeah, we can see, you can say id and employee name is printing. Okay, this is a object in Scala. Thanks for watching this video.